Alright, this is a KDK industrial ceiling fan. I'm not sure if it's a B56X5. It looks exactly like one, but I remember seeing an older one just like this one. It looks exactly the same like the ones I have, but the difference is it doesn't have the little emblem on the motor housing except on the switch cap, which it has light installed on it. I remember seeing them having a different model name, so that's why I'm not saying it's a B56X5. But yeah, the light does not work. But I just put a globe on it today. Just to make it look nice. This is a guest bedroom at my aunt's house in the Dominican Republic. There is another one, but it's in my cousin's bedroom, and she does not like people going in there at all. She'll get really mad. So around I get yelled at. So yeah, this is going to be an iMovie remake of this fan. I figured since this is a fan that I've recorded and it's gotten a lot of views before, I might as well do one of this. So I'll probably do something like that as well, like kind of like Greatest Hits remake. For a fan, I'll do an iMovie remake of them as well. So yeah, and my aunt did say that if she ever does take it down, she'll give it to me. So because she knows I like fans, she does. She's known me since I was little. She's seen how much I like fans. So yeah, I don't have to worry about this one getting given away or anything like that. So yeah, let me go ahead and show it up close, and then I'll turn it on. So I just turned it on, and it might take a bit for this to speed up. I just put it on speed 1. This fan's pretty old. It's a year younger than me, so it's about 18 years old from what my aunt told me. She told me that they got it that she got it like right after, like a little bit after I was born. So like around the time I was born, she told me, but not before I was born. She said. But yeah, this has always been a huge childhood fan. It's actually the first time I'm seeing it with a globe on it, because every time I've seen it was the way it was previously. So yeah. It looks pretty good with the globe on. I really do like it. Even though it has a brass light on it, I think it looks good either way. So yeah, let me go ahead and show it in different angles while it's on speed 1. And also, the light does not work, so I can't show it. The light socket's burnt out. So yeah, let me go ahead and show it in different angles, and then I'll move it up to speed 2. So I just moved it up to speed 2, and it goes a bit faster, I think, than the ones that are at my grandparents' house, which are like from the mid to mid 2000s to like 2008. And speed 2 on this one's almost like speed 3 on the ones I have. Yeah, these older KDKs, they go definitely more faster than the ones I have. Though the 2000s ones are pretty good, but after 2009 they went downhill. Like not horrible, but like kind of like Newcon Pro lines. They aren't bad, but they're not the greatest either. But down here they don't have too much to offer, so they kind of are the greatest right now, the newer ones. But these are definitely very good fans, the older ones. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and show it in different angles. So it's on speed 2, and then I'll move it up to speed 3. So here it is on speed 3. Yeah, basically on these older ones, it's always like one speed ahead of the newer ones that like the ones I got, or the ones that I have. They're like from the 2000s that were still good quality, but they weren't as they just aren't as powerful as these ones. This is speed 3, so it's basically this is speed 4 on the newer ones. So yeah, Mark Wilson, if you're watching this is what you should expect from an older KDK. And that's kind of the reason why I like the older ones like these a lot, because they're just running. What they seem to they last longer. Their condition doesn't get that beat up easy. Like the blades don't rust up so easily. I mean, this is an 18-year-old fan, and it's one of the least rusty fans I've seen down here. So yeah. It also maybe the switches that make me go faster, but I really don't think so. But it could be. You never know. But yeah. But we'll test once I test this one. Mark Wilson's KDK at his place with the control I got. We'll see if it's the control or the fan itself. So yeah, let me go ahead and show it up close in different angles. Well, actually no. For now, I'll just let it run a little bit. Just yeah, so you guys can view it without me talking for a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and move it, not move it up to speed 4, show it up close in different angles, and then move it up to speed 4. So here it is on speed 4, and you guys may notice that it goes just as fast as the ones at my grandparents' house when they're on speed 5. And that's why I emphasize that the older ones are a lot better. The ones from the 90s, before they even came out, before the 2000s came around. They're still good. The 2000s ones, like the ones I have, they're good. They're not bad, but these ones are they go a bit faster and they move more air. I mean, that's why I got one for myself. And I got one for my brother because I know he'll be very impressed with one of the older ones more than the newer ones, like the ones I have. And they are impressive, but these are definitely more impressive, to be honest. It moves just as much as, it moves a little bit more, even with the windows closed. But this fan is moving a good amount of air, and it is in a pretty small room. But yeah, these older KDKs, they cranked out a ton of air. I wish they still made them the same quality. It's kind of like Hunter was very good in the 90s. They were still pretty good in the 2000s, but they weren't. And they were still good in the 2000s, but tiny bit declined. But then like after 2010, they went downhill. It's kind of the same thing with KDK. So yeah, let me go ahead and show up close, and then I'll move up to speed 5. So here it is on full. On these older ones, the speed control is full instead of 5. And like it's very noticeable in person that this thing goes much more faster than the ones I have. And it is cranking out a ton of air, I'll tell you that. And these are very impressive, the older ones, I'll tell you that. Like, the ones I have, they're good. But I'm testing this one right now, I forgot how good the older ones really are. But at least they still kept them good for the 2000s, because otherwise it would have been harder to find good ones nowadays. So, especially the ones at my grandparents' house. I'm lucky that they're still good enough, good quality. Definitely one of my biggest childhood fans. It's the exact one right here. It's one of my favorite fans in general that I've seen it throughout my life. It's just a lot. Just have so many memories of it. That's why I like it a lot. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and show it up close in various angles, and then I'll shut it off and do a spin down. So, yeah, it moves a ton of air, guys. Yeah, this is I'm still very. These are definitely my favorite fans. I've said this already, but yeah, these are probably my biggest childhood fans, the KDKs. Well, that's industrial fans. I mean, I'm not sure if these are actually considered industrial fans. I think they might be considered residential fans in some countries, but I don't know. Spin down is probably gonna be long on this since this is an older KDK and this fan's been used a lot in the past. But nowadays the guest room is not used too much, so should definitely is gonna take over a couple minutes without a doubt. But yeah, high speed cranks out a ton of air. Like every speed on this is like a speed higher than the ones I have in my house. Yeah, I definitely don't regret buying one for myself. So Mark Wilson definitely, I know he's gonna enjoy his, like, knowing that his is a lot more powerful than the ones that. See, I'm lucky I was even able to find a bunch of older ones like those for sale, because a lot of the thrift shops they mostly have those newer ones which I'm not so sure how well they will perform compared to these older ones. So that's why I'm kind of skeptical about buying a newer one, because I don't want to like have people have like a bad impression of like how like $40 for the ones I found. I mean, if it's a good iMovie like this, I don't think it's that bad of a deal. Especially that they're harder to find the older ones like these, and the newer ones are so common now. Like the ones that look just like this, but are newer from like 2000s and onwards. Like they're good, but not as good as these. So they were very good in the 90s. They went downhill a tiny bit in the 2000s. Just like the motor performance, but the quality of it still just as well. Like it's still as good, but and then after 2009, 2010ish, they just aren't as good as what they used to be. Kind of like the Hunter story. Like 1990s, 80s and 90s, they were very good. 2000s, they were still good, but not just a little bit less good than before, just a tiny bit less. Probably like info wise and quality, but they were still very good. But then 2010 and onwards, it's not even the same quality as before. Air movement performance now it's not even. It's like speed 4 of the ones that I have at my grandparents' house, not speed 4 of this one. This one's definitely gonna outdo the other ones in my house without a doubt. Yeah, the bearings on these older ones are definitely much more broken in, but they also spin. And that explains why the KDKs, like when I was picking out KDKs at that place, there was some of the older ones. I would spin all the motors just to see which one would spin the smoothest and would spin more smoothly. I'll tell you, they have such a good, they spin well. Like they have like a very good bearings on them. There was some that had a bit, they didn't spin as well. Like they still spun fine. Don't get me wrong. Some of them would spin a lot smoother than the other ones. Yeah, it's sad that they don't make fans like they used to. I'll tell you that. But it is awesome getting to experience the quality of how older fans are and just to compare them. So yeah, and I'm grateful for being able to grow up with some pretty good fans. Some are Hampton Bays, yes, but I also grew up with some Hunters. But Casablancas I didn't grow up with really. But to me, growing up, just having memories of fans, like I feel like that's more important than quality in my opinion. If they're all not the best quality, I think that's okay, because you know what, if someone didn't have enough money to get the good fans back then, that's not their fault. And we didn't even, and back at the time we didn't even have money. My mom and my grandparents didn't have the money to get a KDK. back when they were this quality. So that's why it took us a while to get one. So yeah, I'm just thankful for having fans and just being able to collect them now. But yeah, wow, this is a long spin down. Almost done. Alright, come to complete stop, and yeah, that'll be the end of this video. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.